venerable Dylan Cooper to my right, and Piss William Sims, all the way from Newcastle upon Tyne to my left. As you can see, Piss is wearing Lift Companion shirt. I too am wearing Lift Companion shirt. You can check it out on barbellapparel.com/Telander. They're the best shirts in all the land. Today, because I was an idiot and worked out with some CrossFit dudes called the Cholesterol Brethren, the Gee Guys.
Lard Lads.
The Lard Lads. That's so good. I worked out with them and did this crazy squat workout, which Alex will be showing you right here. I can hardly feel my legs, so we're going to do some upper body stuff. And of course, these two degenerates have no issue with that at all. If we could just be playing Xbox while we make this episode. But
Fortnite companion, dude?
Fortnite companion. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the most underrated athletes, and I'm actually stoked about this because I've been thinking about this for a while. We each have a list of 5 athletes, and of course, you guys are welcome to comment who you think is an underrated athlete, not talked about enough. Who wants to start with their first one? Let's go. You go first, Dylan.
Okay. VJ Singh.
Oh, dude. Baby.
He was a dog, but Tiger Woods was Tiger Woods when he was a dog.
Yeah, VJ Singh is a sick call.
He took, Tiger was best in the world for like 280 weeks in a row. And then he took it over for a little bit.
Yep.
And then it went back to Tiger for like another 200 weeks.
VJ is, was he South American? Or
Indian.
South African, though? Yeah, I knew he was Indian, but wasn't he living in South Africa? Or who am I thinking of? I might be thinking, Ernie Els. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Dude, so this is the best part about golf, is you can come up with the coolest names and get people fired up.
Yeah.
Which,
easily.
One of the guys on my list, Zack Johnson. You remember him?
No.
12 PGA titles.
Zack Johnson.
Tiger Woods.
It's crazy how both people already are golfers because of Tiger Woods, that they were underrated.
Yes. So part of this list, Chris, is what we realized when we were talking about before.
I'm gonna do a
underrated because of the superstars that existed. So you think about the Michael Jordan era, a lot of underrated guys. Potentially LeBron era, but there's other guys now coming through.
It's kind of like the Lou Ferrigno sort of effect, right?
Yes, of Arnold.
You're permanently going to be subjugated by an absolute outlier superstar.
Lasha Talkhadze is like that guy.
Yeah. You can be a once-in-a-generation talent, but there's a once-in-a-century talent that happens to be during the generation. Guess what? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that is literally Lasha Talkhadze has ruined weightlifting.
Dude, fucking
people are like, like a 210 snatch. That's pretty good. Like, that's okay.
Gore
Manassian
snatched 217. That's the second heaviest snatch ever. No one knows who the fuck that guy is because of Lasha.
So that's an honorable mention, Gore Manassian. Okay, but I said Zack Johnson, underrated because Tiger Woods. Chris, do you have anyone?
No, you told me about this 2 minutes ago, so I'm thinking.
Okay, cool, very cool, dude. Well, feel free to hop in, but I think that's the main thesis of this whole thing is like,
if you just find a era where someone was crazy dominant and just think about the other good players,
you got an underrated guy.
Yeah,
that's good.
Share sounds stable.
Yeah, it really is, actually.
That's where the mold's coming from, probably. This one chair. I'll do another one. There goes the mic.
Crotch mic.
Ken Griffey Jr. People they think about him and they think he's a good hitter, but he hit 630 home runs.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But like Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire were fucking Sammy Sosa were all doing their thing. And Ken Griffey's just hitting 630 home runs. And he's not up on that list when he completely should be.
Zach introduced you to Baseball Doesn't Exist yet?
Oh, man.
Probably up there with one of the best sports YouTube channels I've ever seen.
I agree.
So this guy does video documentaries about baseball. He used to do about 20-minute to 30-minute videos. He recently did an hour-long breakdown about baseball culture in Japan. And it's perfectly well edited. Everyone should go and check it out once they finish watching this. But he has this great video about how the steroid era was much more about juicing of the balls than juicing of the players. So
Oh yeah, and he's got the stats to back it up too.
correct. So there's one family that like sifts the mud that is smeared around the inside of the core of every MLB baseball, and it's been this one. No one knows where it is, and they use this special type of shovel. It's like this one fucking family that's done it for 100 years or something, and there was this period where they changed the supplier of the thread or the type of dye that they use on the thread to thread the ball together. Completely changed the game. Immediately changed the game. So these tiny, minute adjustments that they made some other change to the type of hardening thing that they used for the thread, and it was ripping players' hands up. And there's an argument to be made that the baseball steroid era, the distance that they were getting, exit velocity and distance on the ball, was more to do with what was happening in the ball than in the body.
Wow.
Interesting. Have you heard that the PGA Tour is like rolling the golf ball back?
Again, I feel like they've already done that. Am I wrong about that?
They've been talking about how it might be a thing. But
To make it less pingy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently it's only going to shave like 15 yards
Right.
off of like the top drivers, but
Right.
that's still like
It's
considerable.
Because, dude, think about, you can't just adjust a course. You can't just make a course longer. I mean, you potentially could drive, but like,
I mean,
we're
they've
talking
already
about
moved.
landscape. We're talking about terraforming things.
They've already moved the tee boxes back, like at Augusta. They've done it on like every hole, and they're fucking out of space.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's just make the golf ball less cool. Or like put restrictions on the new technology that comes out with the clubs or something.
Wow,
It's
dude,
weird.
there's so many different things we could talk about. The big one was Jan Zalesny was a, and people are going to like this, javelin thrower. And then they nerfed the javelin. Big
Made it
nerf.
heavier or something?
Slightly heavier, slightly less aerodynamic. Or it was, I think what was happening was if you threw into the wind would like pick it up.
Lift it.
Yeah. And like, dude, people, it was crazy. Like, they didn't have infields long enough for it.
Well, that's the thing. I guess the beautiful thing about golf is that the records that people really care about, obviously in javelin people care about winning their heat and then their particular meet, I guess, the competition that they're a part of. But really what you're looking for is the record of all time, or the women's record, or the Olympic record, or the indoor record, or whatever. But if you make changes to the thing that is the sport, i.e. the thing that you're throwing, the records become... All right, so have we now got two strata of records? Difference being with golf...
Weight classes and weightlifting, that's where my head went.
Yeah.
Difference being with golf, no one's like, oh, the, St. Andrews course, the best score of all time is this or that, because this course gets changed even by a little bit pretty regularly. So making the ball more or less just changes within the competition as opposed to across all time of the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does make sense.
The big example of that, like I was saying, was weightlifting. They just changed the weight classes because of steroid issues. A lot of steroid fallout from 2012. That was the biggest one, the 94 kilo class. It's like 10th place got third, or even more than that. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, everyone got a medal in the mail like 8 years later.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
So then they just are like, oh well, these records are bullshit. So let's just restructure the classes.
Is that guy ever been brought to account? That Tohovsky guy?
Tarakti?
Yeah, because he got popped, right? He like basically got to capitalize on being this super lifter for forever.
Yeah.
And then retroactively got it pulled, but in the interim,
Klokov got retro polled. I mean, everyone.
If it was just like one
Akayev.
or two people, then it would have been an issue. I feel like there would have been some consequences down the road for those guys. Like Tarakti probably wouldn't be as popular, like if he was seen as this guy. But everyone's that guy.
He wasn't an outlier.
Not at all.
Yeah.
If anything, the people that haven't been popped are the outlier. Like it's
kinda
impressive
true.
they made it this far.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting sport. Also, okay, so this guy that I'm about to talk about, would be the other category. So the first one is like, and we'll continue down this path, but like, Tiger Woods era golfers. Anyone that was prolific during that time is underrated. That's objectively true. Same thing you could say with the Jordan era, Lasha Talhaza era. But this one is unknown sport.
Level of.
So like, if you're not in a sport that is widely known, but you're prolific as shit, again, like, people should know about you. That's the underrated thing.
Yeah.
So this guy, Ryan Krauser. Do you know who Ryan Krauser is?
Yeah.
You know who Ryan Krauser?
Thrower.
Ryan Krauser is the greatest thrower of all time, and he's throwing. So we're talking about a sport that is the representative of strength and power in the biggest Olympic sport. Like, it's why the Olympics were created, track and field, essentially.
Yes.
And so we have the most impressive athlete in the power part of this, or power and strength, dynamic of this. And he exists now, and no one fucking cares. And he's American. Like, no Americans know about this guy. A 2-time Olympic gold medalist, which is crazy out of America. 3-time world champion, holds the world record in the shot put, both indoor and outdoor. Set the outdoor world record at 23.56 meters. And he just recently threw 23.38 indoor.
And that's all you saw to test it.
Yeah.
He was in the testing pool. Think about a weightlifter breaking world records and winning the Olympics all the time. That's like the parallel there.
In the testing pool.
In the testing pool.
Yeah.
An American, like we might see from Olivia Reeves, but the likelihood of that in a male
it's impossible. It's not happening.
Yeah, he's insane.
And of course, his lifts on YouTube, hip power snatching 150 for like 3 reps at a time. Also being able to box jump like 50 inches, 55 inches at like right around, 320 pounds?
Yeah, doing those like bounce cleans at like 200 and 210.
Yeah, easy NFL lineman.
Yeah.
Easy.
Would be terrifying.
Yeah.
He's just out there throwing big balls around, being a dog.
All right, Dylan. Hit me.
My phone's by the camera. I got data on there. Hold on.
Chris, give us an unknown sport with a prolific athlete. Any cricketers?
Yeah, so when I think about some of the stuff in cricket, you look at really great batsmen, you look at players that have played for, I think Sachin Tendulkar, Indian player who just one of the greatest batsmen of all time, like literally sort of seen as a demigod. But those aren't necessarily the ones that I think are the most impressive in terms of athletes. Like, it's a very particular type of endurance in cricket. You can bat, you being at the crease for days at a time, 1 or 2 days. I think it was him or someone else that hit 501. An individual player scored 501 runs in a single innings, right? So this guy was at bat for like fucking 3 days, which is insane. But one of the guys that comes to mind for athleticism is Paul Collingwood. So Paul Collingwood, English player, played for Durham, then moved on to be a coach. But he was a freak fielder. So his ability to pick the ball up in what we would consider the infield and be able to hit the wickets was just so far beyond what pretty much anybody else could do, like single arm pickups and crossbody throws. So you can think, because you've got 3 stumps like this that are straight on, crease to crease. So you've got you're bowling like this and you face it that way. It means that the squarer that you get to the stumps, you go from seeing 3 to seeing 2 to seeing 1, right? Mm-hmm. That's now like that, side on. And this guy would regularly run people out that tried to get quick singles, because trying to hit a single stump from 25 yards away whilst moving, crossbody single arm throw under pressure is really, and this guy would just snipe people. And he was my fielding coach when I was at Durham Academy.
Wow,
he would come in and do that, and I remember seeing him, like, he would have plastic stumps sticking out of the ground, and he would be able to pick which one he was going to hit from 30 yards away. He would go like left, bink, and that one would be hit out of the ground, and he'd go center, bink, and then that one, and he'd just leave one at the end and then hit that. It's phenomenal. So, and that's really cool. Like, baseball fielding's good, but baseball fielding is mostly raw power, right? It's like just real accuracy with the throw and raw power.
Yeah, you got.
It's like, can you just get that velocity out of your hand? Whereas in cricket, there's a lot more agility, right? There's diving, there's stops, because the ball's hit on the ground a lot more. It's not a big fucking arcing drive of some kind where you've got a bit of time and then you catch and then you try and get someone.
Yeah, from the outfield.
Yeah. In cricket, it's much more fast-paced, like little tosses and stuff like that. And then honorable mention to Sam Billings, who is, I think, the most skillful wicketkeeper that exists at the moment. British wicketkeeper. He plays in the more fast-paced, like, one-day game. And what he can do both with a bat and while keeping, he also fields as well, is just freakish. Like, he is so unbelievably fast and athletic. He's invented entire new shots that basically no one's ever done before. This just absurd hand-eye coordination. So there's to Paul Collingwood and Sam Billings.
I love the idea of like an athlete or like a subset of athletes that change the game. So we're like the sweeping, any bit of a sweeping ball coming out of a pitcher's hand. It's like a relatively new phenomena. And the only way we could tell why it was happening was like new cameras that could detect like what was happening was like the angle of the arm was what's changing it. It wasn't just the RPMs. Yeah. We used to think like everything was about RPM.
Just revs.
Yeah, but it's actually RPM at the angular velocity that's released.
Actually, there's another one for you. Look at me just going down the full cricket rabbit hole. It's a guy called Shane Warne, most legendary leg spin bowler of all time. So when you bowl...
Oh, you throw... A screwball.
Yeah, so you come up and over and you do this with your hand as you release it. So arms going that way, hands going that way. So mechanically very complex. Lots and lots of like wayward balls a lot of the time, wide balls and stuff that's like gimmies. This guy could turn the ball 4 feet off the ground, like 4 or 5 feet. And some of the things that he did, it's like batsmen just looked at it and I have no idea. When he first started playing, people had no idea what to do. His first ever ball in international cricket, he bowls this guy round his legs. So this ball pitches so far wide that the batsman just disregards it and it turns 4.5 feet. You can even play it like, Alex, put it over the top of this. It's obscene what this guy could do. The amount of revs that he could put on the ball. He could just rip this ball sideways off the ground. And he was just the most dominant leg spinner of forever. He's like the most legendary leg spinner in history, Australian guy.
Well, there we go.
Bit of cricket for you, anglicising this great nation of fucking degenerates and perverts and convicts.
All right, next up for me, another unknown sport, wrestling.
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 Can I guess?
Yeah.
Lou Long Gardner?
No.
Damn. Can I guess?
Call though. Yeah.
Kurt Angle?
No. But Kurt Angle was a very, very good collegiate wrestler.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Chael Sanderson?
No. Fuck. Close though.
One more?
Yeah.
Kyle Dake?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so you said Chael Sanderson.
Yeah. Are you
And you're
Chael
right.
Sonnen?
Cale Sanderson.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
So you meant Cale Sanderson.
I just have a speech impediment. I was right.
Okay, so you were right. Because
Yeah,
I thought
dude.
you were saying Chael Sonnen, who also was a good Greco wrestler.
A little rusty with the
Cale Sanderson, Chris, you're going to love this. Former American folk style and freestyle wrestler, is current head coach at Penn State, which Penn State's an incredible team.
Yep.
As a wrestler, he won an Olympic gold medal. Okay, already incredible. Undefeated, 4 years of college, 159-0. Now they say he also went undefeated in high school for 4 years. And then I think on top of that, because in wrestling what's weird is in 8th grade, if you know you're going to feed into a high school, I'm pretty sure you can wrestle for your high school.
I think back then you could.
I think you still can. I'm almost positive. So this guy I'm pretty sure never lost a fucking match for like 10 straight years. Kind of like Carellen. Okay?
Yeah.
When he finished in, I think it was, and I don't want to butcher this, I'm just going to say Iowa State. If it's Iowa, I feel really bad. I'm sorry, guys. I think it was his final match. He got like a 35-minute standing ovation. Like they almost just shut the event down. Standing ovation, like it just did not stop. It's the greatest, like most prolific athlete in Iowa State history, I think, for sure.
I think wrestling has some of the coolest culture out of any sport.
It's gnarly.
I did it for 3 years, and there was zero bitching or complaining about anything, like with their federation or like. I heard none of that.
Yeah, wrestlers are
people
dogs.
fucking beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, from a very young age.
Super young.
The American feeder program into the Olympics is, it's competitive with Russia, which is just crazy to think about because Russian wrestling is also insane. But paired with that, I have Dan Gable. He invented the Gable grip. Okay, Gable grip is this one right here, Chris.
Mm.
So you don't lock the thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
You do this one.
Why don't you want to lock the thumbs?
It's not as strong, and I think it's also dangerous for your thumbs. Like you can jam your thumbs real bad. So this around someone's waist, you could, do it in like arm triangle. Super powerful grip. Very, very, very powerful.
Very effective for men on other men.
Yes, men on other men. That's what we like here. And another prolific guy, two-time NCAA Division I champion, world gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, third wrestler to be invited into the United World Wrestling Hall of Fame in the legend category. Donald Trump gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I thought you were going to say presidential pardon. For like...
That would be cool as hell.
O.J. Simpson. Anyone brought him up?
Dude, he was so good.
The Juice?
Good.
Oh my God. Do you know
Underrated. Underrated.
Yeah.
That's the wrong Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. So
That's the wrong...
Oh, okay, new category here. They're known for the bad thing they did. Well, not Caitlyn Jenner.
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez, super underrated tight end, let me tell you.
I mean,
Manti Te'o.
Pretty good linebacker, if you ask.
really bad online dater.
That's really fucking funny.
Online backer.
No, yeah, OJ was like the man, bro. He was like the dude. That dude like changed an era of football and also changed an era of pop culture.
I read I found out about what happened with I Did It, that book. Mm-hmm. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Do you know the story about this?
No, I didn't do it, but if I did, here's how I would have.
But do you know when he wanted to make some money, so he wrote a book, If I Did It.
Yeah, that's what...
His book release was If I Did It. 400,000 copies of the book get pulped because they're like, you can't fucking do... Like, you don't get to do this. For some reason, he wasn't allowed to release it. He was found not guilty, I think, in criminal court, but was found guilty in civil court, which meant that many of his assets were taken by the family, one of the families. Mm-hmm. One of the assets was the book, manuscript. They then released it and called the book If I Did It, but if you actually look at the front cover of the book, the word if is contained in the I of I Did It. So it's like, if I did it. So it reads like I did it, but it's not. It's if I did it.
Wow.
And they owned it and released it and made a ton of money off it.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
Are you up? You're up now, right?
Oh yeah, so you were talking about how like people that changed the game whenever we were talking to whoever you listed last. With the...
Yeah. We were talking about sweeping fastballs. And
Yeah. With the occurrence of Steph Curry and what he's done.
Yep, three-point shoot.
Ray Allen is severely underrated now.
Ooh.
Because he was kind of that guy back when basketball wasn't as mainstream.
Well, three-point shooting wasn't as mainstream.
At all.
Yeah, like, I think Michael Jordan's greatest three-point season, I think he maybe had 43s.
Yeah, and he like shot in the 30%.
Yeah, whereas like, doesn't Steph like regularly go over 100 or something, or more? It's got to be way more.
No, he's done. I'm pretty sure he has more seasons than not of going over 200 threes a year, which is wild. That's, I don't know what it is because they play a shitload of games. And he averages like 4 threes a game.
Well,
Chris, like that.
Chris, you had on that guy.
Seth Stevens Davidowitz.
Can you drop a few?
For every inch in height that you gain over 6 foot, your chance of going to the NBA doubles. So 6'1" is twice as likely as 6 foot, and 6'2" is twice as likely as 6'1", and it goes all the way up. Most common.
Forgive me because I'm retarded. That's not exponential, is it?
No, it's just linear.
Okay.
Actually, well, because it doubles. Yeah, it might be.
Exponential.
It is exponential. Sorry, yeah, because it doubles each time.
Good. Go on.
Most common name of all basketball players in the NBA is Michael, and you might think not a particularly black name, or the black people in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Reason being that there's a sort of beautiful urban myth that basketball is a game where underclass youths can get themselves out of the dumps and drag themselves up by their work ethic. But as with many sports, privilege, access to great coaches, good nutrition, lots of leisure time, parents, stable homes, all of the things massively benefit. And Michael is a pretty middle class name. Christopher, also one of the most common names. Like LeBron, super fucking rare name, but also born to a 16-year-old single mother.
Right.
LeBron's an outlier. I bet there's tons of LeBrons now. You know, like in 2006, I bet there was lots of Britneys, and I bet there's lots of like Beyoncés and stuff.
Another thing too, the obvious implication is Michael Jordan, right? Okay. Yeah, very interesting.
What isn't there a crazy percentage of people over 7 feet tall? Don't they have like a double-digit percentage of getting to the NBA?
1 in 7. 1 in 7 people over 7. Like if you are over
age.
7 feet tall,
Yeah.
you've got a 1 in 7 chance. Like if you just
That is crazy.
put your like hand to basketball. Here's one of the stats that people didn't.
1 in 7.
Yeah. Which compared with like, and you go down to 6'6" even, or 6 foot, and it's absurd how hard it is to get into the NBA.
Right.
And then if you're tall, it's just obscene how easy it is. One of the things that I told you about this really doesn't get looked at from an NBA stats standpoint is hand span. So hand span's hugely predictive. So I think Shaq has a 14-inch thumb
That is absurd.
finger hand span.
Handspan.
And so much of that is being able to just like grasp the ball in the air. Obviously, being able to palm a ball, pretty big deal.
Right.
But yeah, those were huge, dude. So much stuff. The sons of NBA players are better free throwers. So Steph Curry, his dad, Steph is by percentage, I think he's like 4 points better than his father.
Interesting.
Even though you would expect if someone's a genetic outlier that the subsequent generation would have regression to the mean. So you should get, like if you're a freak tall person, your son should be shorter because everything regresses back to the mean, typically. So what this suggests is that free throw shooting is very, very heavily socialized. It's
Interesting.
His father, who has an unbelievable set of skills and tactics, has coached his son from age 1 to be perfect. And he's basically honed his skill, passed that down, and then refined it better, which is why sons throw better than fathers.
So also free throws are the least skilled but most disciplined. So if shooting your foul shots or shooting your free throws, like that was a big thing for coaches to be like, there's no fucking excuse to be bad at foul shots. There's no one guarding you, and like honest to God, there are grandparents can shoot a free throw. Yeah. Like 90-year-old. There's like a record for like the most free throws hit in a row was done by like a 65-year-old dude. Yeah. So this guy was saying so that makes sense where you have a father who wants his son to play basketball to then make him super disciplined on shooting free throws. There's no doubt about it in my mind that what's his dad's name? Fuck. Dell. That Dell had Steph literally just sitting there shooting all day, shooting foul shots all day. There's also Seth Curry. Isn't that there's another one?
Brother.
It's his brother.
Plays for I don't know if he still does, but Mavericks.
Seth and Steph.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a famous football commentator who has a brother that owns Ocean Club Ibiza. He's like just a degenerate party boy, and they're the Linekers, and it must be his like cousin or whatever. Wayne, Dwayne, and Shane.
Me and my brothers, it's Ryan, Dylan, and Cullen.
Oh, you got the Lyns. The Lynn brothers. Okay, I'm gonna throw the hockey players a bone here. Mark Messier. His career spanned from 1979 to 2004.
Hockey?
Yeah.
I thought that would have been pretty rough on the old.
Dude, there's some old guys in hockey that just like stick around.
Isn't
bro.
Ovechkin still going?
Yeah.
He's like completely gray.
Yeah.
He's just out there on the ice fucking
So,
people up.
Mark Messier, 6-time Stanley Cup champion, second to Wayne Gretzky in all-time points, Hall of Famer, easy. Underrated because he played with Gretzky.
Yeah.
Straight up. It's also one of those longevity things. You brought up Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey, he also has like, he's part of that discussion of games in a row.
Yeah.
But the winner of that would be Cal Ripken Jr.
Cal Ripken Jr. Dude.
Cal Ripken Jr. I think Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah. Yeah.
And both of their fathers played in the league.
Ken Griffey played on the same team as
his dad. Okay. And did Cal Ripken Jr. play with his dad, or was his dad not in the league? Either way,
I don't think so.
That's another discipline stat.
Dude.
It's another fucking discipline stat that, like, if you're a father and want to get your kid better, and you can check off, this is the low-hanging fruit, is discipline. Like, show up to every game, never take a game off, foul shots, things of that nature. That's a really cool stat.
I lived in, like, Germantown, Maryland, and we would go to Orioles games and watch fucking Cal Ripken. He was, like, at a poster in my room. That dude was Jesus Christ to me when I was growing up.
What a beast.
Yeah.
All right.
So sick.
I have one more. Do you have one more?
I got one.
Okay. But no, I mean, that's it. We're done after these two, I think.
Should we start rowing, or should we just fucking keep inclining forever?
I think I'm done working out.
Okay, I'll be done working out too.
Let's just spill every drink while we're at it, huh?
I got one who's still active. I think his first name's Dimitri. I don't have it on my list, but Bivol, the guy that just beat Canelo like 2 years ago.
Okay.
No one, if you look at like mainstream boxing and stuff, he is not brought up a lot at all. And he pieced up Canelo.
But wasn't it at, weren't there so,
It was
there's always some
class.
excuse, yeah.
It was one weight class up. Okay.
There's always an excuse, yeah.
But like, I don't know, that he still pieced up Canelo. Like if the best weightlifter ever
went up a weight class,
should still, dude, if that beast stings me, I'm gonna get so much stronger. Think of the best weightlifter in the world, Ilya. When he was a 94, he went up a weight class. He was still the best weightlifter in the world.
Yep.
And like, it was close, but he still won. Like his first meet, every meet as a 105. And I'm sure there's other sports you could, like Alex Pereira in UFC right now.
You think he's underrated?
No, not at all. But he won in middleweight, went up, is dominating in light heavyweight.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
But if it's Canelo, people love and treasure Canelo so much, so when he gets beat, it's like, yeah, it was at a different weight class. That's why I think he's underrated. Because he did beat the shit out of Canelo. Like, it was kind of close, but still, he beat the greatest boxer alive right now.
Wait, I think that's it. I think that's all.
What about,
oh, I've got one more. Okay, go ahead.
I'll let you do yours.
Reggie Miller,
Yeah.
Pacers. That's a personal one for me because I grew up in the Jordan era, and I was never scared of anyone as a fan being like, oh, the Bulls just win.
Yeah.
Which is a very funny experience. For like your entire youth just being like, oh, yay, the Bulls win again. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Like, this is so fun. This is what we do. We just win. And now look at the Bulls. Like, they're just a terrible organization, you know, and just having that dynasty just spoiled the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller still scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Yeah, for some reason, like, the Pacers would just give the Bulls the hardest time ever. He was an incredible shooter.
Just a maniac on defense, too.
Incredible player, dude. Yeah. Another Jordan-era forgotten guy.
Kind of like Tracy McGrady.
Yeah. T-Mac, dude, he has one of the all-time most legendary performances in the sport of basketball.
Yeah, 13 points in 31 seconds.
Yep.
No one's ever
13 points in 31 seconds, dude.
To win the game.
With twos and threes.
They were down like 11, and he came back. 31 seconds left in the game. He scored all 13, and they won. It's the coolest sports highlight, I think, ever.
Dude, so this is a funny one. I'm at the 2003 All-Star Game. Alex, post a picture of me and Nelly. Okay? That's where I met Nelly, because my dad goes, yo, Nelly! I'm like, oh my God. Can you take a picture with my son? He's like, yeah, sure, dog. Bends over, takes a picture with me. That's that picture. But I'm at the, like, celebrity shoot-around beforehand. My dad's a sports writer, so I got this crazy access as a 13-year-old kid. They're fucking gnarly. Standing there, Paul Pierce walks past me.
That was me. Is it dead? Yeah. Shit. Fucked it.
gotta get a 7.3. Batteries last so much longer.
Well,
here, we'll do this. Plug this in there.
It doesn't work. The input's broken on this camera.
Well, that was the last one, so we can do this. I'm just gonna hold it.
Yeah.
All right, our budget production failed us. We ran out of battery on that thing right there, and the internal temperature on that thing got too hot, which, whatever. I was just yapping on some bullshit, I don't even know. Hope you guys liked the video. More Lift Companions in the future. Subscribe, do all that cool shit. What else, dude? I don't even know. Comment if you guys have any underrated athletes. And argue a lot so the algorithm picks us up and we can overtake Mr. Beast. See you guys later. Bye.
Okay.